Hello students, a very good morning to you. We have completed our chapter 2, that is sexual reproduction in plants, and today we will continue our revision and start a revision of chapter 3, that is reproduction in human beings. As you are aware, as you are grow up, so we will study about human reproductive system. As you know that human beings reproduces by means of sexual, means in case of human beings sexual reproduction occurs. So there are various events occur inside the body, means starting from maturity of the body to formation of gametes, then in case of females the gestation period, then the parturition, lactation, etc., etc., etc. All these events or activities are involved. So how human beings reproduce, we will study in this chapter in an elaborate way. So let's start the chapter, and the first topic is the human male reproductive system. What is human male reproductive system? What are its different parts? Where does the sperms or gametogenesis, means gamete formation, occur, etc., etc. As we know that, like plants, in case of human beings also, reproduction takes place through three events. One is pre-fertilization, another is fertilization, and the next one is post-fertilization. Same like plants, in pre-fertilization event we will study about gamete formation and gamete transfer. Then in fertilization event we will study about zygote formation, how zygote formation occur, and in post fertilization event embryogenesis and lactation. So before we start these topics, we will study about pre-fertilization event, means gamete formation. Where does this gamete formation occur? In case of male, the gamete formation is known as spermatogenesis. And in case of female, it is known as oogenesis. So students, before we study about spermatogenesis and oogenesis, let's study about male reproductive system. What is male reproductive system consist of? Male reproductive system is consist of a pair of testes, clear? Then accessory ducts, glands and external genitalia. Accessory ducts, glands and external genitalia. So, what are these organs do inside the human male body and what is their function? First we will explain testes. Testes, in case of males, it is present at the pelvis region. You know that our body is divided into two halves, two parts. One is pectoral and another is pelvis. Pelvis or pelvic we can say. This is present in pelvis region, means lower abdominal region. So this testes outside, located, a pair of testes located outside the abdominal cavity. Abdomen means belly and outside the abdominal cavity means this is not inside the body, means the pair of testes is outside the body, and it is consist of again many chambers, and the testis is covered by a thin layer of skin that is called as scrotum. Scrotum. Scrotum is a skinned pouch. Skin pouch. Pouch means bag or sac like structure which covers the testis, and its importance is it maintains a low temperature in the testis than the normal body temperature, means up to 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius less than the normal body temperature. Means if the body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius, then the temperature inside the testis is either 34 35 degrees Celsius. Why this requires less temperature? As we know, spermatogenesis process means for formation of sperms, it requires less temperature. So here testis present in pair outside the abdominal cavity, and it is covered by a skin pouch, thin layer of skin pouch, which is known as scrotum, and that scrotum maintains the temperature of testis lower than the normal body temperature. How many lower? How much lower? It is up to 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the normal body temperature. If we see in adult human beings means those person who have get physically matured, means who cross their puberty, means physical maturation, then in adult human beings the length and width of testis is, length is 4 to 5 centimeter, whereas width is 2 to 3 centimeter. Clear students? This is the length of testis and this is the width of testis. So here another point you can explain, pair of testis located outside the body, then it is covered by scrotum. Its length is 4 to 5 centimeter and its width is 2 to 3 centimeter. Clear students? Again, each testis has 250 compartments. Suppose this is testis, each testis has 250 compartments, and these compartments are called as, compartments, and biologically they are called as testicular lobules. Testicular lobules. Clear? And each testicular lobule has 1 to 3 means एक से 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubule. Highly coiled seminiferous tubule is present. Seminiferous tubule is present. Clear? So how you will define? Each testis has 250 compartments like this. Compartments means homes or houses, like in train you can see many compartments, 30-40 compartments. So in each testis, as in case of human beings there is a pair of testis, so each testis has 250 compartments and each compartment is known as testicular lobule. Clear students? Again I have told you each lobule has 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubule. Why they are coiled? Because when they get expand, then their area get increased. And each seminiferous tubule, again, each seminiferous tubule has 2 type of cells. One is male germ cell. Each seminiferous tubule has two type of cells. How many? 2 type of cells. One is called as male germ cell, or we can say as spermatogonia. And another is called as Sertoli cell. You have to remember these names. Inside seminiferous tubule, 2 type of cells are present. One is male germ cell and another is Sertoli cell. The male germ cell goes through meiosis. As you know that it is 2n in number, means its ploidy is 2n, diploid number of chromosome. So it goes through meiosis to form sperms. And the Sertoli cell provides nutrition to these male gametes. Clear students? Is that clear? Again, outside the spermatogonia, if I draw the diagram, you can see. Suppose this is a seminiferous tubule. This is a seminiferous tubule and inside it many spermatogonia are present. Clear? And as I have told you, this is spermatogonia and this is Sertoli cell. These 2 type of cell are present. And outside the Sertoli cell, you can see this. They are called as interstitial space. Interstitial space or cell, and they form leading cell. This is a sectional view of seminiferous tubule which we are studying now, seminiferous tubule. As I have told you, each testis has 250 compartments. Each compartment has 250 compartments each testis contain, and these compartments called as testicular lobule. Each lobule contains 1 to 3 highly coiled seminiferous tubule. Then each seminiferous tubule again contain two type of cells. One is male germ cell or spermatogonia whose ploidy is 2n, and that goes through meiosis to form sperms. And another cell is called as Sertoli cell which gives nutrition. Again, around the Sertoli cell or outside the Sertoli cell, there are presence of interstitial space or interstitial cell which is called as Leydig cells. What is their function? During puberty, they secrete the testicular hormone androgen. Testicular hormone androgen, and that androgen help in male for the process of spermatogenesis, that is called as androgen. So students, this is all about your testes. Then what are its accessory ducts and glands? As I have told you, it is consist of testes, then accessory ducts, then accessory glands. And here I explained you about the testis, its length, its breadth, what type of cells are present in it. Then the accessory ducts are retitestis. First is your retitestis. Then second one is your vasa efferentia. Third one is your epididymis. And fourth one is vas deferens. These are the accessory ducts. Means we are studying about male reproductive system, different parts of male reproductive system. You know here about testes. Then these are the accessory ducts, means how they help the sperms for movement. So these are retitestis, vasa efferentia, epididymis and vas deferens. Retitestis are small narrow tubules which are come from the testis. Let's draw diagram. Suppose this is a testis. Clear? So as I have told you, here 250 compartments are present. This is all about testis. Then they are called as retitestis. These retitestis are connected to the compartments and through the seminiferous tubule. These are the narrow tubules called as retitestis. Then they form vasa efferentia. Vasa efferentia like this. You can see. This is retitestis. And this is vasa efferentia. Means which is connected by this retitestis, and the sperms are come from retitestis through epididymis. Towards the vasa efferentia, and then it moves towards the epididymis. Epididymis is the area where maturation of sperms occur. Then it moves towards the vas deferens, which carries the sperms towards the external genitalia, which is called as penis. This is the external genitalia. This is testis. These are the testicular lobules, and inside which seminiferous tubules are present. And these seminiferous tubules are connected by the small narrow tubules which are called as retitestis. Retitestis collects the sperms from the seminiferous tubules. Then it sends to the vasa efferentia. Then they form a tube, and after crossing the vasa efferentia, they leads to form epididymis, and then it goes towards the vasa efferentia and comes towards the ejaculatory duct. This part is called your ejaculatory duct. and ends at the, this is called as urethra. This is called as urethra, through which the sperm is released. So students, this is, you can see the diagram. They are represent different type of accessory ducts. Next is your accessory glands. Accessory glands. What are the accessory glands of human male reproductive system? Accessory glands are seminal vesicle, then your prostate gland, and another third one is called your bulbourethral gland or bulbourethral gland, or you can say as Cooper's gland. Clear students? We studied testes, we studied about different type of accessory ducts. Now we are studying about glands, and these glands are seminal vesicle, prostate gland and bulbourethral gland or Cowper's gland. So what are their function in male reproductive system, and what are the function of this, and how they help in secretion of this, means how they help in the secretion of different type of hormones and liquids for the easy movement of sperms. So students, you can see here the diagram, and now we will show the seminal vesicle. The seminal vesicles are present here. As I have told you, two testes are present, but for your easy understanding, I showed here only one testis, and these are the compartments, and these are the rete testis, then vasa efferentia, then epididymis, then your vas deferens. So in this way they come. Here is same from the testis. So you can see this is called as urinary bladder, and this part is called as seminal vesicle. This is called as seminal vesicle, which secretes seminal plasma. This is called as seminal vesicle, and it secretes seminal plasma. Just below it, bulbourethral gland is present. Let's see through colored. This part is your seminal vesicle, and this part is bulbourethral gland, and this is penis, and here is presence of, this is prostate gland, and this is your bulbourethral gland. You can see, again I am repeating it, they are the ducts. The ducts reaches towards the ejaculatory duct through which sperm is released from the body. Just above the penis means external genitalia, and on the urinary bladder, above the urinary bladder, there is a pair of seminal vesicle is present. This part is called as seminal vesicle. A pair of seminal vesicle is present. Just below the seminal vesicle, here is the presence of prostate gland, and here is the bulbourethral gland, which is present just above the penis. So let's see what is the function of these glands. As I have told you, seminal vesicle secretes seminal plasma. This secretes seminal plasma. And the secretion of prostate gland, seminal vesicle and the secretion of prostate gland gives motility or gives a liquid medium to the sperm for its easy movement, as well as it provides nutrition. Means seminal vesicle provides nutrition, whereas the prostate gland provides liquid for the easy or smooth movement of sperm through the ejaculatory duct. And here the bulbourethral gland, you can see this is bulbourethral gland. This helps in lubricating the penis. Clear students? This helps in the lubricating the penis. This part is called as the bulbourethral gland or Cooper's gland. So they are the different type of glands which now I have told you. Then what is the function of the seminal plasma, and what does it contain? Seminal plasma contain calcium and fructose. This contain calcium and fructose. calcium and fructose, due to which the sperms activated or get nutrients. And the prostate gland provides liquid medium. As you know that sperm is present in the semen, that is the liquid portion inside which millions of sperms are formed. We will study this during when we will study gamete formation, means spermatogenesis. So here you have to remember a little thing, that is the function of different type of glands. Again I am repeating. This is male reproductive system. It is consist of a pair of testes, then accessory ducts and accessory glands. Accessory ducts are retitestis, vasa efferentia, epididymis, vas deferens, whereas glands are seminal vesicle, prostate gland and bulbourethral gland or Cowper's gland. Their function is to carry the sperm. The ducts works here, or function of ducts is to carry the sperm from testis towards the ejaculatory duct. This is called ejaculatory duct because ejaculation, ejection or releasing of sperm occurs through this duct. Here, in case of human male, this is called urinogenital tract. Why this is called urinogenital tract? As both sperm and urine released through the common passage, that is called as urethral meatus. Clear, students? So the seminal vesicle contains calcium and fructose, due to which it provides nutrition to the sperm. Means when the sperms move towards the ejaculatory duct, the secretion of seminal vesicle mix with it, and due to which they get nutrition. And here the secretion of prostate gland also provides a liquid medium for the easy movement of sperm. Again, during coitus or during mating, it bulbourethral gland or Cowper's gland provides liquidity or provides lubricating to the penis, and this is the ejaculatory duct, and it ends with the urethral meatus. Urethral meatus is the pore that exists at the tip of the penis through which urine is released. Clear, students? So here next is our external genitalia. In case of human beings, the external genitalia is called as penis, through which sperm is released, and the outer part of the penis or the end part of the penis, we can say as the large sized part, is called as glans penis, which is covered by a thin skin. This is called as glans penis, and this is covered by a thin layer of skin. Clear, students? So this is all about your male reproductive system. In the next class we will study about female reproductive system.